Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a review on this Gershion nail extension gel enhancement kit. So they advertise this as a polygel kit, but an enhanced version to it. It is pretty nice, but it's not exactly polygel per se in my opinion. So here's what comes in it. Here's the nail forms, the thank you card, the directions of how to actually apply it, a brush for dusting off any dust, a brush for application, a top coat, a base coat, and 6 colors. So here's the reddish one. This is a pinkish peach. Here's their clear, which I will be using. This is another peach. This is a lighter peach. And here is their 43, which I thought was supposed to actually be a purple, but it ended up being more of a nudish purple. It wasn't that bad of a color, but it wasn't what I expected. Anyway, so I buffed my nails and got rid of my cuticles before the video. So now I'm just cleaning it off, and this is all part of nail prep. First I put some acetone as just to clean my nail off. This is all just nail prep, just to make sure that lasts longer. And so now I'm putting a primer. I know that it kind of looks funny how I put it on. I kind of swivel it on at times, but that's also because the tip is very small. The primer is just to make sure that the gel sticks onto it. I ended up putting 2 coats of this onto my nails, and my nails actually stayed on pretty long, so that's really nice. Okay, so now that I'm done with nail prep, I am going to place my first nail form onto my nail. So typically people like to put them all on at once. I like to do it one at a time only because I'm scared of moving and shifting it out of place. Anyway, so I usually take the little piece and put it on the back just for more support. But these nail forms I found were actually very sticky and very strong, which I really liked. The only thing is that if you really want an extra long nail, these may not come as long as you want them, but I find them actually really great if you want to do more of not a crazy long nail, because they were very sticky and they stayed in place really well, and they were really strong on top of that, so they didn't move or shift at all. So I went ahead and did my base coat of gel off camera. I kind of forgot to, so I just did that off camera real quick. Anyway, so now I am putting a very thin layer of clear onto my nails, and I'm going to be spreading that around. My reasoning for this is just to give a layer between my nail and the color that I will be applying on top. Also on top of that, just for when I want to file down my nails, when I want to get a new set or just change them out, just so that I know a layer of where I could stop at and not get down all the way down to my natural nail. So that's what I'm doing here. I applied the gel onto my nail. It was very easy to squeeze it out of the bottle, but as you can see, it's very much like a builder gel consistency. I have never actually used builder gel, so I wouldn't know the differences between the two. But to me, it kind of seems more like a builder gel in a tube more than a poly gel, which in part wasn't the worst for me. I like my poly gel a little bit more on the, what's the word? I want to say on the softer side, which is what this gel is like. And so it's really easy to move around. It has such a fluid consistency, but not too fluid that it ever ran down my nail. I never had to worry about that. It really just stayed where I want it to be, and so I found it really great just to control it. And as you can see, it's really easy to move it around. It's really just staying where I want it to be. And so as you see, the nail is very thin right now, and I mainly do that because I'm going to be applying another layer on top of it, so I don't want my nail to be too thick in the end. So I went ahead and cured it, and I'm going to be putting another layer on top, but with this 43 gel, but it's going to be a bit longer to the length that I want it to be. And so I am going to end up filing in the end, so I don't really care if it's like 100% perfect because I can always file it down to how I want it to be in the end. But as you can see, I'm just applying it to where I want it to be, the length. I'm going to end up spreading out the nail, so there's no point putting it on every single inch of the nail, just enough so that I could spread it around and fully cover the nail and the extended nail where I want it to be. So at this point, I realized that I didn't actually put enough gel that I needed to cover the nail fully. So here I'm just adding some more gel on top of the nail. So I cured the nail once I was satisfied, and now I'm taking off the nail form. And so there is a tacky layer on the nail after you cure it, but something I noticed is that underneath the nail, it's still kind of wet. And so I went ahead and cured underneath the nail so that it wouldn't be wet anymore. But what I also did was I took some gel and placed it underneath the nail to like smooth it out. I didn't have a nail drill at this point of the video, so I didn't want to have any like harshness underneath the nail, or at least I tried to minimize it as much as I could. But of course, if you do have a nail drill, you could kind of just skip the step and just file underneath the nail. But not everyone has a nail drill, and I found this just more efficient. Of course, it wasn't 100% smooth, but it did do a pretty good job of getting it to a point where I was satisfied with. So, and also, I don't totally know why this happened. It did not happen with the clear. I'm assuming because it's more of an opaque color that this happened. But yeah, you don't have to worry about this with the clear. But yeah, I'm just smoothing out the nail. Something that also happened, I realized I didn't fully cover one side of my nail, so I went ahead off camera and just fixed that. And so now I'm going on to my index finger, which is, so how I did this was, I wanted half the nail to be a color, but the tip I wanted to be a clear. And I didn't want like a classic French clear tip per se, but I wanted more of a straight line between the tip and the color. So what I did was, first I placed a layer of clear, which was not just on the nail bed but on the entire nail. So for the entire length of the nail I placed that. So that's what I'm doing right here. So once I got this to a thin layer that I was very happy with, I ended up putting the nail color that I wanted all over my nail bed and the tip of my nail, but not the clear tip of where I wanted the nail to extend to, just like my natural nail. So I did not put it all the way to the end of where I wanted to, because I thought that I would get more precision by using the brush, and in fact I did. So I spread out the gel all along my nail, and so I covered all of my natural nail and just went up to the tip of my nail where I just wanted the gel to stop. So this actually turned out better than I thought. I ended up not needing to like file the edge of it to make the line straight. It actually came out really nice and smooth. I was able to do that, and it was really nice to be able to do that and not have to file the edge of the tip. I know for some, if you're doing like a French tip to make the smile line more crisp, something that you could do is file the smile line, and that will make it more crisp. But I ended up getting a really straight line. I was so happy with that I ended up not doing that here, but that is something that you could always do if you're not satisfied with how it came out. But anyway, so this is how I'm doing it. I actually am going like really slow in doing this, only because I really want precise in how I wanted it. I also tried to make this layer kind of thin because I was going to go on top of it with another clear layer. Okay, so now that I'm done with that, I ended up curing it, and I'm just putting a clear, in a sense I'm encapsulating it in clear. So this ended up turning out really nice, but at some point, I don't entirely know when, the clear tip ended up turning a bit yellow. This wasn't an issue with my pinky, which I did the same exact thing to, but for some reason it did with my index finger. I don't know why, but regardless, it turned out so pretty, and I loved it regardless. Anyway, so yeah, I am putting clear all over the nail, all over the extended nail, and just smoothing it out to however I want it to be. I literally just put it all over. This ended up being thicker than I wanted it to be, but this was also because I had multiple layers of gel. I should have ended up doing the colored even thinner than what I had it to be, but I don't know. I ended up not, and maybe this is a recommendation for when you do it, just try to make your layers thin, but not too thin, like paper thin, but thin enough that when you do like 3 layers, it's not very bulky. Okay, so now I'm just taking off the dual form, and it's very sticky, as I mentioned before, but I love how sticky it is, and right now I'm just showing how clear this clear is. That's kind of funny to say. Anyway, I was really obsessed with how clear it was. So now I already put the dual form on. I actually didn't notice that it wasn't straight, but this ended up not being that much of an issue for me. It looks perfectly fine in the end for me. So anyway, I am doing the same exact thing that I did on my index finger on my pinky. So this one turned out better. I'm assuming it's because I did do a thinner layer of the color. But anyway, I am really happy with how this nail turned out. Even though the nail form was crooked. Okay, so now that I'm done with that nail, I am going to go on to my ring finger. What I'm doing is more of an encapsulated type of design. So in the encapsulation, I'm just gonna have like a diagonal line of hollow and glitter. That is, in the end, I'm gonna end up putting a mat on top of it and then some glossy flowers. This turned out really pretty. This must be my favorite nail. I ended up, the shape and structure of it I also really liked. It was one of the better ones. But anyway, here's how I do this. First, I end up just doing like an extended nail of clear, and then after that I put the glitter. And as I mentioned before, this gel does have a tacky layer after you cure it, and so what I did was I put the hollow and the glitter on top of the tacky layer after it was cured. And then once that is all done, I ended up putting another clear layer all over the glitter and the clear. Okay, so after I cured that, now I'm going in and filing all of my nails, shaping them, doing the whole thing. It is really great. Filing must be saving my life because this nail that I'm filing was not looking that great beforehand. But I am filing it, and I'm gonna file the rest of my nails, but I'm just only really showing this one nail only because I feel like there's so many nail filing videos out there that if you really want to see some filing, you could find in so many of my other videos. This is mainly because I don't like filing on camera, and I just feel like it just takes so long of a video. So this is how my nails look after I file them all down. I'm not putting a top coat on all of them right away, but that's also because I'm doing nail designs and they're not all the same. So I'm starting off with my thumb and I'm putting hollow on top. So I initially started out with just putting the top coat and then putting the hollow on top while it's wet, but this did not turn out how I like it. So after some trial and error, I realized that that's not how I exactly like it, and so I ended up filing off part of what I initially started with and like redoing it. The way that I think it looks best is if you apply the top coat, cure it, and then put the hollow on top of the already cured top coat. So this doesn't really work with the nail polish. I mean, I suppose it could. I have not had much success trying to do with nail polish, but this is something you could do with nail gel, where once you cure it, you could apply the hollow on top just by like scrubbing it in, and then you could apply another top coat on top of that to seal it all in, and it looks really great. I really liked how this one turned out. So now I'm putting some gem or crystals on my index and pinky finger. I am just using a top coat, which isn't actually the best to use. What you should actually use is like maybe take some of the gel, that thick gel, and then place it on your nail, and then on top of that put a top coat. That way your stones will have something to actually like sink and lay in and like hold it in place. So I am putting the gems across the line where there's like my clear tip and the color of my nail. So I'm putting it along that line. So even if that line wasn't straight, it wouldn't make a difference because I'm covering it up. And so I'm just putting that along the line there on both my index and pinky finger. So now on my middle finger, what I'm going to be doing is something similar to my ring finger, but I'm doing the diagonal in the opposite direction. So I'm just putting a top coat, and then I'm going to put the hollow on top of the top coat and then the glitter, and then just cure that all and put a top coat all over that. Okay, so after I put a top coat on the remaining fingers, I am going in with a matte nail polish top coat that I have. I'm not actually a fan of this top coat, and I wasn't a fan of putting this especially on my middle finger. So you do have the option of doing this. I think in the end I actually did just put a shiny top coat on top of my middle finger. I didn't like how the effect turned out in this, but it's always up to you, your decision. Putting the top coat on the ring finger and index finger, you don't want to get on the stones because you want to keep the stones shiny, so you want to put it around the stones, which I kind of did by just putting the nail polish on sideways on the nail, so that worked out great. So now I'm taking my striper brush to make some flowers. So this brush, this is actually my first time using it, and I think it was really cute. I ended up buying this off of Amazon because I saw it in a giveaway and I just thought it was really cute, and it's cute, and I thought it was actually like pretty good quality. I've had like multiple striper brushes in the past, and they weren't the best, I'd say. I think this one is really like better than the ones I've had in the past. Anyway, so now I'm doing these flowers, and this is how I'm doing mine. I guess you could really do yours however you want. It doesn't really matter, but I wanted, so you want to kind of just place it along the diagonal where the hollow and the glitter is, just like on top of it. How I've seen it done before is like you really want to cover the hollow and the glitter, but I just didn't want to, so I didn't. But I think this just turned out fine as it was regardless. So here's a video of the final nails. I really hope that you did enjoy this video. I did apply a top coat to the middle finger, which can be shown in this photo, but I hope you like the video.